Hey guys, Scott here, and we have some more Ots B-roll footage. And I want to talk about the debate between Ots and True that they just had on both of their streams. It was really fun to watch. I recommend you guys watch it as well. It'll probably be on their YouTubes, and it's currently on their VODs if you want to check it out. It was a pretty good time. It was good discussions, especially about the whole getting hooks versus kills and where the game should go. I think there's a lot of positive discussion there. So overall, it was pretty great to watch. There was one counter argument I want to make though, and it was about the whole section with how Ots felt that True was being dismissive of, a killer's skill when they do, 50 wins in a row. True's whole counter argument was the only way you can do 50 wins in a row, for example, is if all the players that you're going against are bad. You're going against bad teams. And as soon as you get, a single good team, you're just going to lose the streak, which I inherently disagree with to begin with. I think just because you get a good team, unless you're playing, Legion with no add-ons or something like that, you can still absolutely win. It's just going to be very hard. Now, he also said if you go against like a tournament team, then that's it. Your streak's over, which I agree with. That's true. Unless you're playing Nurse or Spirit, once you go against a tournament squad, then yeah, your streak is basically over. So True kind of feels like it's meaningless to have a streak when it's basically dictated by how soon you go against a tournament squad or something like that. But I think that's kind of a loaded argument because of how infrequently you go against tournament squads. That's not like no one is making the claim that we're doing 50 wins in a row against tournament squads. That is impossible. No one can do that. No one's going to try to do that. It's just, no one's even claiming to do that is the thing, though. Like, to provide a counter argument for that doesn't make any sense because no one is even beginning to claim that that's possible because it just frankly isn't. But when you say that as soon as you go against a good team, that you're going to lose, I mean, that's just sort of insulting to the killer because you're basically assuming that they're also not good as well, and you think it's just solely in the hands of the survivors, which, a lot of it is, but it's very dismissive of the killer skill involved. And I want to provide the main counter argument for that, which is you can only get 50 wins in a row, for example, if the players that you're going against are bad, which is technically kind of a true statement, but it's also a loaded statement that doesn't mean anything because what does good mean? What does bad mean? Good is just a comparative term to bad. For something to be bad, you have to have something good, and for something to be good, you have to have something bad. So when you have a player that has, 7,000 hours in the game, they're comparatively good because they are better than almost everyone that they go against. So when you say that their wins are meaningless because they just go against bad teams and they slug and stuff like that, that's extremely dismissive of the killer's skill because you're basically not paying attention to the fact that they are good. And that comparison makes everyone they go against bad, basically. So when you say that, it doesn't mean anything because they go against everyone that's bad, that doesn't make any sense. Because everyone they go against comparatively is bad to them. So there's no winning in that argument. They'll never ever go against... They'll never have a legitimate streak because they won't go against good teams because they are good. Therefore, no team will rival their skill and won't appear good. So it's like it's a loop of just the killer can never claim it as a thing to be proud of because they are good. Therefore, everyone they go against is bad. Like, you see what I mean? Like, it just kind of goes circular there, and it doesn't really actually mean anything. So that is the main kind of counter argument I wanted to make, that it's kind of dismissive of the killer actually being good because not everyone can do that. It is not it's not realistic to expect a streak to be balanced around going against incredibly strong teams because there aren't really that many. And it's especially silly to expect it to be based around going against like tournament teams because you almost never go against tournament teams, like ever. Like, think about how many actual tournament teams are in this game. I'm talking legitimate tourney teams that do scrims and things like that, not just four friends that play together. That's actually not a tournament team. I'm talking about teams that actually participate in tournaments. They do scrims and things like that. There's probably, 15 to 20, like, total, like, in the world. And the chances of you running into them, even in a span of 50 games, is almost zero at any given point. If you play long enough, then yeah, you will run into them. I'm not saying you won't. That's just not true. But it's not realistic at all to expect you to, run into those people all the time. So saying that, it doesn't matter because you're going against bad players, it doesn't make any sense because the majority of the player base compared to the killer player in this scenario are going to be bad. And that still is an accomplishment because it means that the killer is so good that they're able to do it. So I feel like I'm starting to go in circles myself now. So I just wanted to bring up that whole counter argument to that subject, and I'd be happy to hear if there's any counter argument to my counter argument. But that is it, guys. Other than that, though, the rest of the video was awesome, and I recommend you guys watch the whole debate they had. It was a lot of fun to watch. And that is it, guys. Take it easy. Have a good one.